All right, everybody, we're live. Thanks for joining us again. This is episode 3 of Vegan Demon Slayers with me, Summer Shine All Day, Kimmy LCC, and Santos Fibonacci. And it's going to be a great show today. I'm really excited. We have a lot to share with you all. So take it away, you guys.
Hi, Santos.
Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Summer.
Hi.
How are you, Santos?
All good? Great.
Yeah, I'm good. Glad about that.
Yeah.
So I thought with this show, we could talk about, because I've had a lot of messages from people who want to go vegan and they're still vegetarian. So they're still having cheese and the eggs and the dairy. But what I have to say about that is when you eat cheese, the reason it's addictive is because when it gets broken down in your stomach, the casein in it produces a derivative called casomorphins, and your brain recognizes this as a opiate. And you know, you get people that are always like, oh my God, I need cheese, I need cheese, I need cheese all the time. They're addicted to cheese. That is why, because when it gets broken down in the stomach, the cheese turns into a morphine, an opiate. And this is why. And also, I think people need to know that are still having cheese is that it takes liters and liters of cheese to create a tiny block of cheese to make that concentrated amount of cheese that they eat. It's very fattening. It's designed to keep a baby cow growing. So next time you want to eat cheese, maybe you could think about what I've told you about the it being an opiate, that your brain actually recognizes as an opiate, and that's why it's very addictive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that as milk as well. Milk is for to keep a calf alive. It's very, very highly concentrated proteins. And it's not meant to go in your body. So I just wanted to put that across because I've had a lot of messages from people who they want to go vegan, but they're addicted to cheese. And they need to know that the cheese has actually got them under control because it is addictive, highly addictive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, your body does not know the difference between a street drug and a drug that's like sugar. You know, there's no difference to the body. Just because it's deemed illegal in our culture does not mean there's no difference, literally. That cocaine and sugar is the same thing, the same exact thing. And casein is the cause of all prostate cancer. It's more vegetarians have worse health than people who eat meat because of all of the cheese they do eat.
Yeah, because they're eating all the eggs and the dairy, and this is not only is it unhealthy. Also, in the West, people eat so much of the meat, the dairy, and the eggs, and the highest rate of death is like one of them is like osteoporosis, and the reason being is because they're eating so much acidity that their bones are leaching their alkaline minerals from their body, and it's breaking. Yeah, they're basically weeing their bones down the toilet, basically, when they're having that. And that's why osteoporosis is a huge problem because of the acidity in the body, and obviously acidity comes from the animal products.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've noticed, girls, that people who eat a lot of cheese have a cheesy, pasty complexion. I mean, most people don't look for things like this. They don't think this way, but I've always had that sense that I can see the diet in the individual. That's why I say that, and it's rather crude when I say, you know, that meat eaters think like, I don't want to be offensive today. I did last week, but I don't want to do that. They stink, they look bad, and they are full of corpse.
Skunk.
They are a grave. Philosophers call their stomachs a graveyard of dead corpses. Now, they look that way, but the same thing happens with people who drink a lot of milk and cheese. Their complexion looks cheesy. You can see their skin is not breathing. it's all sort of clogged up and sort of looks like it looks like it's going moldy or something. It looks like their skin is well, it's suffering. I mean, you can see it. I can see it. I have this intuition. I've always I mean, you don't just, when I say meat eaters smell bad, I can smell death on meat eaters. I can smell the death that they are ingesting. Now, people,
Yeah.
most of young conscious people, they're going to laugh and go, oh, that's funny. Oh, you can laugh all you want.
Mm-hmm.
The fact is, I've had this gift for, probably all my life. I had a friend once who was a heavy meat eater. He died of cancer in his mid-30s. And I was the first one to know that he was death-bound because I smelt it. I didn't smell it with my nose. I smelt it with my whole body. The body has, your aura emanates an energy. And when someone else's energy comes in and their energy is polluted, immediately you know that individual is sick. I can feel, smell sick individuals, and you can just tell. You can look at them. Yes, they are heavily on dairy. Those ones eat pork. That's a meat eater. You just know it. And so this is why I say that vegans are good, the only good-looking people around, because they are. Because not just with your eye do they look good. They look good from the heart. They're not murdering.
Yeah.
They don't have blood guilt. They look good from the mind. The mind can see, not these eyes. It's this eye. It's the all-seeing eye that sees and smells and knows.
Absolutely. Radiates from their being through their pores. Like it from every single pore, it beams out because it's all you have is life inside of you. So it's just gonna shine right through, you know.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. You can definitely tell if someone eats meat and cheese. I can. I mean, I was in the gym today and I was talking to an instructor, and I know instantly that he eats meat because you can see in their, you know, their pores and their skin, like Santos is saying, and the lines. It's like, and I watched the cell salt deficiency, going off veganism here a little bit. But I've actually started noticing the deficiencies in people's faces, and you can see it seeping out of their pores and in their aura. And when you become vegan as well, you lighten your body because you are shedding layers and layers away. And really, the more you do that, the more you can see that in other people. You can see the light shining through or not, so to speak. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I can sense it in just the way they carry themselves. Like, I guess it's the aura field, you know, that invisible energy. When I'm near I can pick up on a lot of things, not just that, but it's just I can just see right through people with that. And people think that we're crazy because we feel this way. It's like, if you unpollute your body, if you take care of yourself, if you cleanse, you will be able to see these things too, like all of these abilities like psychicness and telekinesis or telepathy. That's what I was trying to say. All of these things are not so foreign to us. This is natural abilities that are inside of you, and you're not going to get there by polluting your body and mistreating the most divine and beautiful creation ever known to exist. I mean, this body it's truly profound, and people, if you treat it like a garbage can, why, like, no wonder why, like, your health is the way it is, and the fact that you cannot read people's minds or their energy and see through them. You know, everything is transparent. It's all energy. So there should be no reason why you can't communicate with somebody without using your mouth, you know?
Definitely. Definitely, yep. You can see it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In particular, the pastry people, the people who eat cakes and pastries and all of that white flour and white bread and milk.
Wheat.
Oh man, oh, you can see it. When I go to the supermarket, my shopping is all green things, healthy things, and in
And they
front
look
of
at
me,
you like you're crazy.
Yeah. Mine's like
in
that
front,
too. And I went to the... Go on. Carry on.
no, you go on.
I was at the supermarket today, actually, funny enough, and I was looking at people's trolleys, and this is not a judgment, but come on, we're human beings. We have a bit of judgment. You know,
Yeah.
I was astounded. It's the meats, it's the refined wheats, it's the cheese and the dairy. It's the same in Australia. It's the same in America. I even saw a lady, I think she had cancer, and she had a lump of gammon in her trolley. And I was just like, oh my God, I need to tell this woman. And I thought, no, Kim, don't even go there. But, you know, like my trolley is full of spinach and cauliflower and avocados and all this lovely food. And I'm like, oh, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, I notice when I go to the market, well, we call them just grocery stores here, but, and I'm checking out it's like, because I go to the same one, it's near my house, and like they know me for like what I buy, and it's like they're waiting for me to like put a Snickers bar on the conveyor belt, and like, because every time they're just like, are you vegan? And they like look at me like, some of them will look at me like look at me as if I think I'm better than them. Like they'll like judge me.
I know.
You know, like giving me those looks, and then some of them will just be like, "Man, you eat healthy." I was just like, "Okay," like, "Okay, thanks." Yeah, I do. You caught me. You know.
It's the it's the defensive it's that defensive instinct that guilty people have that cause them to turn the table around and say, oh, you're on your high horse, you think you're better, vegans. This is the thing with meat eaters. Oh, vegans think they're so good. They don't think they're so good. They're trying to share the better way. They have discovered the true way.
Yeah.
And they're trying to reach out to our brothers and give them the facts. Killing, murdering animals. I say to people, get your dog, slice his throat off, invite your friends around and have some dog chops. Go on, get your pet dog. You know, what do you call it? Monty, Butch. Grab Butch, slice its ears, have some barbecue, have some dog on a spit, and have your friends around. Would you do that? Well, what's the difference? Why a cow? Why a pig? Pigs are more intelligent than dogs.
I know, they are.
They've got beautiful hearts. Pigs are pigs. They love life. And so, you know, they always turn it around. And this shows their weakness, their callous weakness. They are weak. And their food makes them weak. Here's how to tell. When you see people that are obese, you can rest assured they're eating cheese by the ton. They're eating white bread. You see their trolleys at the supermarket. They've got white sugar, white flour, white bread. They've got all their food is in boxes and cans. That's all contaminated. That is all highly processed. Where in nature does a tree give you a box of cornflakes or something like that?
I know.
Box of something.
And not to mention, if you can do this test yourself. Get some neodymium magnets and put your cereal on like in a bowl of water, and you can drag it around with the magnet because of all of the metals that they put in the cereal.
I've heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
Or like all the added vitamins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad. So bad.
Mm-hmm.
Since when did you see an obese person that eats fruit and vegetables? You just don't see that because it doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
You can see it.
Every time you see an obese person in public, you always see them. They've got either a McDonald's burger in their mouth, or they've got some kind of an ice cream or some kind of a pastry. And don't they put two and two together? There's the food I'm eating. Here's my monstrous, fat, disgusting-looking bags of fat that I'm carrying around. Maybe apples might work. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. The people who eat a lot of refined dairy products, cheeses and stuff like that, they are weakly. They are very weak looking, and they're weak of morale and character. You can see it in them. They're sort of walking around like this, like they're like half dead. Why are people committing suicide? Why are they depressed? Why are they deranged? Why are they stupid? Lacking intelligence.
Yeah.
Intelligent food begets intelligent beings. Look at vegans.
Exactly.
They are vibrant. The vegans who do things the right way, of course. I've got I know some people that are vegans and they're struggling because they eat shit just as much as the other people who are meat eaters eat shit. So it's not about it's not about making judgments based on the way people look. It's about making judgments on the truth. Here on this side you have vital, living, whole foods. If you're eating vital, living, fresh, organic, whole foods, that vitality is going to come out of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Exactly.
I mean, I've been vegetarian / vegan for 7-8 years now, and no, actually 8 years. 2008 is when I started. The vitality, the energy I've got, the amount of stuff that I've published in syncretism since 2011, and I've still got probably 90% of my stuff unpublished, and I've done that whilst being hounded by the establishment, trying to get me in jail all the time, and basically working like a mad dog, 16 hours a day, replying to billions and billions of emails, trying to keep up with all that, and the energy just keeps pouring out. Now, the people who are murdering animals and feasting on that, you look at them. The depleted look about them. There's no radiation. There's no true human radiation. It's like they've turned themselves into like a machine, and they're like a robot now.
Like a
totally. Yeah. That is so true. Where I live, and I should think it's America and Australia as well, people are just, it's like the living dead. Seriously, it's the fluoride, it's the meat, it's the stuff in the food. The government, they know exactly what they're doing with food. They know if they make fruit, they know if fruit and vegetables are cheaper, then people are going to eat more. But they don't want to do that. Oh no, they don't want to do that because they know what's going to happen if they do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but the people walking, they have no life in them. I walk down the road and I smile at people because I'm a happy, cheerful person and I love life and I'm beaming out of my heart with joy.
Mm-hmm.
And they're on such a different level to me. They think I'm weird. Like they think I'm a weirdo.
They look at you.
You know,
inside of them look at you and like they find something to like hate on, and that's what people don't understand is like that is not even you at this point. Like if you're thinking these things, like you really have to like stop and like, is this me? Like I have to deal with this a lot in my family, like who like come at me like that, and I realize like this is not even them talking. This is the demons inside of them, literally the parasites.
Yeah, it's the demons, exactly.
And I just want to say, you know, like we were talking about all these cakes and cookies and sugars. It's like, what is so bitter about your life that you have to reach for these sweets and just stuff your face with all of that? It's like, what is so bitter about inside of you? Because it's all unconscious. You reach for these things because you're lacking it inside of you. You know what I'm saying? So it's really acidic and bitter about your body to make you want to just go on and eat those things. So
definitely, they're definitely feeding the demons inside them. They're definitely trying to match the vibration that their body is at that moment experiencing. And meat and dairy products are the lowest frequency foods, I think. So, you know, that's why they're walking around like the Evil Dead. Mm-hmm.
We're really just surrounded by people who aren't even here anymore. They're just a host, and the parasites are living through them at this point. That really, it's that simple, and people don't understand this until you go through it and you realize, like, oh my God, I see what they were talking about. I see what Santos was talking about and what Kimmy was talking about and what Summer was talking about. Like, they weren't crazy because I experienced it for myself, and that's like really how you learn. You can't just like hear it all the time. It's going to spark something inside of you, but until you yourself put yourself through those experiences like I had to, it just wakes you up out of this illusion.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, you can see entities controlling people for sure. They're deranged. They don't have any control of their minds. They've been dumbed down through the food they're eating, especially meat. Meat brings you down to the consciousness of the animal. Now, for an animal, there's nothing wrong with that. It's beautiful to see cats and dogs playing, and they're very intelligent and everything like that. But the human intelligence is next to divine. Well, it is divine. It's of another kind, and yet humans are afraid of that intelligence. And how they show that is by their choice of food. The food that they eat is deliberately bringing down their intelligence, and they love it. That's where they want to stay, because there they are controlled by the group mind. They're not individuals now anymore. They don't have control of their own mind. The moment you eat meat, flesh, you belong to that group soul of the animals, and you're controlled by it. And it's very, very nasty. It's very, and this is why they get very defensive. I just recently had a bit of a toing and throwing with a Christian guy who has watched these shows and is criticizing. Yep, criticizing me because the Bible says you can eat animals and God gave you the flesh of animals to eat. This is how deranged these people are. Even these churchgoers, they are being deceived. Totally deceived. First of all, first and foremostly, there is nothing literal in the Bible. It is a literary work, just as Shakespeare is literary. It's not literal. Okay? They take literal characters like Julius Caesar and Cleopatra, and Shakespeare arranges a story and gives you literary truth. Literary truth is way more powerful than literal truth, and the Bible is full of literary truth. So when the Bible says, "Thou shalt not kill," that is a law. It's different to the literary. See, they say, oh yeah, but God gave unto man flesh of animals to eat. God doesn't give anything. God is not a giver. He's a provider. Everything is there. All is provided for. He doesn't give you something. He doesn't say, here, have this pig's bum. You can have pig's bum now. He doesn't give. He doesn't do that. Like in the ancient days when it says that God gave unto Israel a king. Well, he didn't give it to them. He didn't say, he didn't pick Saul up and David and say, and Solomon and say, here you are, and push it in their face. It was a provision. And so it's in the literary sense, he is giving. It has been given because it's been provided for. You see? And so the injunction, "Thou shalt not kill," this applies to anything at all. And then they'll come back and say, "Oh yeah, but you're killing vegetables." The sensory system. Oh my God, it's sometimes
they don't have eyes. You know, I see what you're saying. You know, honor all life, but let's kind of graduate from a childlike mentality and rationality. I don't even think children would even say something like that.
This is the surefire way to deceive yourself, by false, fallacious reasoning, and people are full of it. Why? Because they want to defend their crimes. And this is the thing I'm reaching out to people. Stop defending your crimes. Release, surrender to the truth. Surrender to the truth that you are a murderer. Meat, flesh eaters are murderers because you are complicit. In the abattoirs, what is going on, you are complicit because you are funding what is going on. And they are treating animals very, very badly. In some of the videos we see how they grab chickens by the legs and they throw them into the cages, how they get cows and they've got a hammer and they're hitting them on the head, and the cows are just going, you know, and screaming and looking. You can see the cow eyes looking at the humans going, what the fuck are you doing? This is not, this is deranged. This is demonic. I'm just an animal. I'm helpless. And you're caging me. You're electrocuting me. You're prodding me. You're stabbing me with knives. You're cutting my throat. What the fuck for? You've got grapes and bananas and vegetables. And this is sorry about the language, guys.
It's okay. It's
It's all
terrifying.
right. It's good.
It's real. It's terrifying what they go through, and it's like, I can't. Who can watch something like this? Is why they don't publicize what goes on in those factories, because who in their right mind would be like, oh yeah, you know, like a straight up demon would, straight up. If you think that that's okay, and it's like, yep, that's just how it is. Yep, yeah, let's publicize that on TV. Let's put this on CBS. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, they're not going to, because it would terrify you. It would make you bawl your eyes out, because that's what happened to me the first time I ever saw something like that. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I couldn't believe that I participated in that. And it's not, and that's what hurts the most, is the fact that you feel so much guilt because you don't put two and two together. And it's like these children with these little McDonald's commercials. Like, I'm glad they stopped targeting kids as much. They still do it, but not to the point where they're doing cartoons and stuff like that. It's like, why don't you show them what actually that chicken nugget is made out of? Because they think it's cartoon chicken, and it's like, oh, happy, you know what I'm saying? It's so happy to be killed for you and put into your stomach. Like, how egoic, like, I don't even know the word, but like stuff, like, just like, how, just, that doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
No. It doesn't. You know, they will jump up and down on their high moral ground the moment they see, oh, you're abusing that dog. That collar's too tight. Oh, look, that dog needs water. I know a friend. I've got a friend who got his dog impounded because he was in the gym and he had his dog tied up in the shade outside with water and everything like that, and some pretentious moron came along, rang the local council, got him in trouble. They got his dog, vaccinated it. The dog's half dead now through all the vaccinations they gave it, because he wasn't doing that rubbish, of course. The dog was very, very healthy. Now his dog is sick with all the vaccinations because of this self-righteous idiot who's probably a meat eater. Yeah, well, they'll eat pig bums, they'll murder pigs. See, the thing is, people don't think things through. If you're the driver of a car, of a bank robber, and the bank robber goes in and he kills someone and steals all that money and goes back out the car, and you're driving that car and you get caught, who gets in trouble? The robber only, or you and the robber because you drove the car? Well, it's complicity, isn't it? You are complicit in that murder. So you simply cannot detach yourself clinically and callously from all the murder that's going on in the abattoirs and delighting in your pig's bum, bacon and eggs for breakfast. Oh, chicken period and pig's bum. My God, people are deranged. Deranged. They are insane. They're sick. People are demonic. They're sick. And they'll defend it. Oh, I got James Swagger, the idiot from Capricorn Radio, and he wrote in one of my Facebook threads, oh yeah, but I love my hamburgers. These are the idiots. These are the dunces that get on the airwaves and spew vomit to the world with their half-cocked, half-witted half-truths. You know, it's insanity. It's totally insanity, guys. It's so hopefully we can reach out to people to surrender to truth and leave the lies behind, man. It's time to leave them behind. We will never ever go forward while we're killing animals. In any way, shape or form. Think of your pets. How much you love those pets. You spend thousands of dollars grooming them, keeping them housed, feeding them with the best food. I feed my dog vegan food since the day we got her from the pet shop. I've been feeding her vegan food. My dog's vegan. The healthiest dog you will ever see. Vegan. And So you see people looking after their dogs and grooming them and spending thousands of dollars of these pets, but murdering and eating the corpses of other pets. Now, here's one quote. We're going to do some quotes, and some of you can join me in these quotes. Here's Pythagoras, the most famous vegetarian of history, bar none. And he said, as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other indeed. Indeed, he who sows the seeds of murder and pain cannot reap the joy of love.
It's the truth. That is the truth. 100% truth. It is.
Without fail. Without fail. You want to share some of those other quotes, dear sister Summer? How about the Leonardo da Vinci one there?
Yeah. Okay, so this one, yes, Leonardo da Vinci said, "The time will come when men such as I will look upon the murder of animals as they now look upon the murder of men." Which is so true. And then there's another one by Anonymous that I really like. Well, it doesn't say who it's from, but to compare plants with animals is doing violence to the order of things. For the latter are naturally sensitive. For the latter are naturally sensitive?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, making sure. And adapted to feel pain, to be terrified and hurt, on which account also they may be injured. But the former are entirely destitute of sensation, and in consequence of this, nothing foreign or evil or harmful or infurious can befall them.
Hey, Summer, please, can you read that again, because this is very important. Please, let's reach out to the people who make the argument that you're killing plants.
Yes.
With this one again, please, let's sort this one out once and for all time. These arguments are fallacious. Please don't do this, folks. If you're still a meat eater and you're reasoning in such a way, and you're blocking your own everlasting life, because gluttons, which are meat eaters, will not inherit God's kingdom, folks. God's kingdom is in you. It is in you. You will not reach what is the treasures that are in you, in your heart, if you eat meat. You will never know the glory of your own being and how divine you are whilst you are murdering. Please read it again. Sorry, sister.
Yeah. To compare plants with animals is doing violence to the order of things. For the latter are naturally sensitive and adapted to feel pain, to be terrified and hurt, on which account also they may be injured. But the former are entirely destitute of sensation, and in consequence of this, nothing foreign or evil or hurtful or injurious can befall them.
Beautiful. So there you go. I mean, that sorts that out, doesn't it? I mean, animals have eyes, heart, blood, fully developed nervous system. They are autonomous. They can walk around, and they have rationale. They have logic. They have all of these things. I know plants have them to an extent, but it's just totally a different kingdom to eat from. Animals do shit, don't they? Plants don't shit. When you eat something that shits, you are eating shit. Okay, that's how it works. That the animal organism is designed to ingest food and then poo out what is not needed. So, therefore, the animal's body is managing toxins all the time. When you kill that animal, some of those toxins that aren't processed, you are ingesting. Plants don't do this process. Plants do not have this process because they don't shit. Next one. How about...
I've got one, Santos.
Go.
This is Pythagoras. This is one of my favorites. For as long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Indeed, he sows the seeds of murder, and pain cannot reap joy and love.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
If you
How
heard that.
about
Yeah.
yeah? How about the one from George Bernard Shaw there, Summer?
Okay. While we ourselves are the living graves of murdered beasts, how can we expect any ideal conditions on this earth? Which is so true. If you beget killing, it just gets it in return. You know, your chaos and murder and.
Beautiful. How about our friend there, Albert Einstein, which I have been very critical of lately because of the harm he's done with his hocus pocus bogus theory of relativity. Nonetheless, this is a good quote, please.
Yes. Nothing will benefit human health and increase the chances for survival of life on Earth as much as the evolution to a vegetarian diet.
Thank you, Albert Einstein. We appreciate that truth. We totally disregard the idiot stupidity of relativity, which doesn't exist, never did, never will, and goodbye to relativity. How about the other one of Pythagoras there, sister? Oh, no,
Actually,
I think we've...
Yeah, that was the one Kimmy read, actually.
Great. There you go.
It's one of my favourites, and it's the truth.
It is.
Of course it's the truth. And it's great that we know it, and it's lovely to know the truth. I'm very aggressive when it comes to truth, and I have offended many, many people. And, you know, in the process of offending people, I've actually turned them into vegetarian. How do I know that? Because they write to me. I have thousands and thousands and thousands of people write to me saying, "Oh, Santos, I was totally disgusted in you when you spoke out against meat eaters and the way you did it and everything like that. But, you know, every time after I heard those posts of yours or you speaking about meat eating and everything like that, every time I went near meat, I just couldn't do it. And now I'm a vegetarian. And guess what? I'm so healthy. I'm vibrant. I'm happy. I'm not depressed anymore. Not suicidal. I'm not aggressive. I'm peaceful. I'm joyous. I'm at one with myself. I'm connecting with the Creator. I'm meditating. I'm joyful. I love people. They love me. I look good. I look sexy.
I look sexy.
Vegans are sexy. They are sexy. What can I say? Meat look horrible. They look horrible. And I love them. I've got meat eaters in my family. I love them so much.
Me too.
So much.
Yeah.
And so, but they don't look good. They look awful. They look like the animals they are eating. I see pig in the face of people. I see cow in the face of people. Not that they look bad. Pigs look gorgeous, and cows are beautiful. I love the look of cows. I used to, when I was a young boy, I grew up on the farm. I'm a country boy. And I used to feed the cows and the pigs. I used to feed the pigs, and the cows would come, and I would pat them and look into their eyes, and they each had a personality. We had chickens. We had all animals. I loved animals. And so you get to know their personalities. And so, but the thing is, when people eat them, they take on the look of those animals. People who eat pork, you can see that their skin is really like leather around the neck.
It's gross. That's gross.
It's gross. You know, they don't have, oh, look at my black fingers. They don't have any soft skin. I mean, you know, it's not soft. You can't do this to it, and it's sort of, if you do this to their skin, it stays there. Like that crease just stays there, and it takes about an hour to go back to where it was. Whereas you can see the hydration in the skin of vegans that eat properly, you know.
I can honestly say this for myself, just from experience from other people that have felt my skin literally baby smooth. My diet change is amazing what it has done. I have soft skin, but it's just like now it just glows with a different, and it's just extra smooth and soft and just delicate. Very, 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 very fine. Very awesome.
It gets better and better.
Mine as well. Does.
Yeah, yeah. every day you look in the mirror, you can see changes, because every day that you wake up, you are a different person after you've slept. The energies that come in from the astral world through sleep actually um, uh, have an effect on every cell of your body, and you wake up different every day. Now, meat eaters and cheese and all of this crap that people are eating, they are waking up sicker and sicker every day. I see them. I see them on the streets when I see, and my relatives who eat meat and what have you, and you see them every day. They've got a new complaint. Oh, I'm taking this pill from the doctor now because my arthritis is getting worse. Oh, my shoulders, I can't move my back. Oh, my ears, I can't. What did you say? Oh, yes, I've got to go to the optometrist. I need new glasses now, stronger ones, and I've got to go to the dentist. They're falling out, and pus is coming out.
That's amazing.
And then they try to tell you that, oh, this is what you have to look forward to whenever you get older, or you're getting old now, you just turned however old, like you're getting old. I'm like, no, you're getting old, and you're pushing all of your fears of being old on me, because you know I'm not getting old.
Yeah. But it's interesting because when they go to the doctors, because they've been eating this crap, this meat and dairy, the doctors check their cholesterol. Obviously, they're going to have an imbalance of cholesterol, so they put them on statins. Mm-hmm. I say to people, stop statins, you don't need them, come off them, go on a plant-based diet, take your omega-3, and your cholesterol, bad cholesterol will go straight down. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as that.
Immediately.
Mm-hmm. It will, because you're not having all the saturated fats and the artery clogging. If you've ever, when you were a meat eater, when I was a meat eater, if you put the oil down the sink of meat and it coagulates around the bottom of the pot,
mm-hmm.
and that is what is going in people's arteries, that thick saturated fat. That's mm-hmm. what's clogging their arteries, and that's how the animals are getting their karma back on humanity, by giving them diseases.
Yep. As the great Seneca, philosopher and vegetarian philosopher to Nero, who was put to death by Nero because of his vegetarian teachings and other things, as he said, diseases come to man because of dishes. Dishes, diseases. You see these shows on cuisine, and you see all these fat, ugly, stone motherless, ugly people who are on these cooking shows. Oh, and they're eating their little slices of meat.
Oh, I know.
And they're fat and ugly, and they look like shit.
I know.
And people are watching that going, oh, that's a nice recipe. We've got to try that next. Oh, that choice cut of pig's bum. Oh, that's going to be nice in my stomach, with all those parasites. And they're doing, and Fox and all of these shows, and they have cuisine. When I go to Japan, I laugh. I've been there 5 times. I laugh. Every channel, you turn the channels, and all you hear is oishi, and then and they're eating oishi. Oishi. Oishi means delicious, and I laugh and stir the Japanese people, saying, all you hear on Japanese television is the word oishi, delicious. There's cooking shows everywhere, and they've got all sorts of dead corpses, and they're putting condiments and sauces on it, and they get their little chopsticks and they go, oishi! Sugoi oishi! Honto ni oishi desu ne! You know, and it's...
You're so good at that.
Yeah.
Oishi. Everything's about delicious. This is what Pythagoras and Plato called tyranny of the senses. You've got to murder some animal so that you can get some, tasty. So basically people are eating a yum-yum diet. That's what I call it, yum-yum. Oh, that's yum-yum. They don't want to look at anything that might have vitality in it. It's got to be pastry or some sort of an egg or a bum of some animals. Or anyway, going back to the point of cholesterol there, Kimmy, another thing that causes cholesterol is the salt that people are ingesting. It's basically it's overheated, therefore it is glass,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cutting the inside of their veins. And so what happens is, then because they're bleeding inside their veins because they're eating this bad salt,
Sodium chloride, isn't it?
sodium chloride. Why would
Yeah.
you ingest salt that only has 2 minerals? What I do is I make a brine. Since our first show where I mentioned that I ingest Himalayan salt and Celtic sea salt, which have about 92 minerals.
Celtic salt. Mm-hmm.
Celtic salt, yeah, I'll mix it. This is a mixture of salt crystals. This is a brine. So what you do is you just pour water over your salt crystals.
Uh-huh.
And that is salt. This is brine. There's 92 minerals in this. This gives you electrical charge. This is just electrical charge. And so, and this is easy on the body, and it gives you electrical charge and makes you fresh and happy and energetic. So what they're doing now is they're realizing that that salt is bad for you, and then they're saying don't have salt. So people don't have salt, whereas this is what they should. This is what they should be having. And here's another trick that I learnt off Barbara. Celtic salt's the best. It's sun-dried Celtic salt. It's the best salt you can have. Himalayan sea salt is the next best. But here's a trick for you, girls. If you want to hydrate your body and get it all nice and supple and hydrated, just put a salt crystal of Celtic or Himalayan on your tongue for a few seconds, and then wash it down with water. Because what happens is it allows the magnesium in what's that mineral?
Calcium.
Anyway, it starts.
Calcium.
No, it starts with mag. What's the element that's? Sorry.
Manganese.
Yeah. Okay. It allows that to penetrate the cell membrane, and it goes straight into the cell and hydrates you. If you ever come across someone who is dehydrated, put just a small bit of salt, good salt. Carry salt with you everywhere. I carry salt with me everywhere so I don't get dehydrated. And 3 or 4 times a day, I put a little crystal on my tongue, wait a few seconds, get that really salty taste going, wash it down with water, and you just hydrate. This is the way you will save
someone's life. Gives you energy.
Yeah.
Santos, we're having computer chat and come right back in, and it'll fix it.
You broke up.
I said we're having really bad feedback. Can you exit the call and come back in?
Call again?
Yeah, just come right back in. Just exit out and come right back to the link we gave you in Skype.
Okay.
Whoops. Are you there?
Yeah.
Santos has disconnected.
Yeah, because his thingy is see, he's back. Yeah. All right, that should be good. No feedback.
How's that?
Yep, great.
Now, I just want to share where I learnt that tip. I learnt this not long ago from a wonderful health teacher here in Australia called Barbara O'Neill. Please look up Barbara O'Neill. She is a gem.
Yes.
Jump in, girls. I've got a phone call.
Yeah, no problem. Tell us what you know about Barbara O'Neill, Kimmy. I don't know about her.
When I had hormonal problems, as you might have experienced, I typed in PMS.
Graham, how are you, brother? Yeah, look, good.
We
yes.
can hear Santos.
Yeah. Santos is on the show.
Yeah, she basically teaches the reason why people have hormone imbalances, but really at the root. So you could go back generations of like your parents taking the pill, your mum taking the pill.
Something up until 10 o'clock. I'll come after that. You beauty, Graham. Thanks, brother.
My mom took it for a very short period of time, but I don't. My grandma did. She had my dad whenever she was 17. So, and then before that, they didn't. It didn't exist. So my mom, she took it, but not for a very long time. I mean, I took it for a
No,
really
but it can affect you. Like if your mum took it for not even a very long time, it can affect your hormones. And that's how I come across Barbara O'Neill, because she recommends a cream called Anna's Wild Yam Cream.
Mm.
And it helps to, you put it on at a certain time of the month, and it basically helps to balance out your progesterone and your estrogen. And like hormones is one of my favorite subjects because I've done so much work on my hormones, and I come across her, and since I come across her, I've learned so much. She really is amazing. She's one of the best in the world. If you want my honest opinion, she's one of the best in the world for advice, really, really. And she's beautiful. She takes out quotes from the Bible, but the real nice quotes from the Bible she does.
Yeah, because it's really how you get people. I've noticed that, like using the Bible quotes, because a lot of Christians are skeptical. But if you throw, it's like they identify more with people who promote that. You know, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, like when they're very dogmatic, like churchgoers, they like, yeah, they find it like I've spent a bit of time around people in the health spectrum, should we say, and I was advising people to do acupuncture, but the old-fashioned version, the trees and branches, where they do it by your astrology and your birth sign, which is the real healing method of Chinese medicine. And some of these Christians, these churchgoers, were telling me that, oh, we don't do that. We don't do that. I'm thinking, what are you talking about? This is healing.
Mm-hmm.
This is like real healing. And they like completely close themselves off from the real healing. You know, it's just it's just ridiculous.
Well, I'm definitely going to check her out because I've for like 4 years. So.
Yeah, you should check her out. She's really amazing. She has I was listening to one today about the frontal lobe of your brain and panic attacks, because I've suffered from panic attacks before, and she's saying that when this bit of your brain is like this is your emotional part, and if this is too active, then your frontal lobe can't function. So you basically think more with your emotions than your frontal lobe, and she's just basically teaching you how to like be the inspector of your feelings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You're the doctor and the patient.
Yeah, it's amazing. She really is amazing. Yeah.
Barbara O'Neill, great.
Yeah, Barbara O'Neill. She's one of the best teachers on health and honest, and her insights are just incredible. It's impeccable.
Mm.
Yeah, she's a real goddess. She's a goddess.
Yep, she is a goddess. She truly is. And I think she's local here. I don't think she's very far from where I live. Guys, I want to keep up my quotes from all the wise ones, so please bear with me. I'm going to do a bit of reading, if you don't mind. Can I do about 20 minutes?
Of course.
No, go ahead.
How much time do we have?
However long. We've been going on for about 55 minutes right now.
Yeah, okay, so we normally do an hour and a half, yeah, so please bear with me because this is very important. The arguments that people throw back at vegans, that we are carnivores, blah, 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 all that filth, all that stupidity. Here is Sri Yukteswar, one of the greatest gurus of Vedic wisdom in history. He lived in the 19th century, wrote this book about 1894, I think it was. And he is one of the students, is from the Kriya Yoga school. Paramhansa, Yogananda Paramhansa comes from this school. Babaji was his teacher before that. Lahiri, another great guru. All of those gurus from the Kriya Yoga school from India. This is what they have to say, and their wisdom. I mean, India was a vegetarian nation at one stage until the Muslims invaded and the English and taught them the aberration of demon worship of eating corpse. But India was vegetarian. They subsisted on vegetables and fruits until they were contaminated by invading imperialist dog-eating armies. So, and of course, I have nothing against Islam, but I do have much against the way they eat carcasses, and therefore they are disqualified from, you know, their basic worship is disqualified from any kind of purity and you know, true acceptance by the universe. So it's very unfortunate that they've been deceived. But it talks about meat eating and how it's just so contrary to human nature. And this is what he has to say. What is natural living? So please bear with me for about 20 minutes or so, because these are where we find the treasures that will lead us to the truth and to the kingdom of heaven. From these great works and from the great ones, Sri Yukteswar. What is natural living? To understand what natural living is, it will be necessary to distinguish it from what is unnatural living. Living depends on the selection of 1, food, 2, dwelling, and 3, company. To live naturally, the lower animals can select these for themselves by the help of their instincts and the natural sentinels placed at the sentry entrances, the organs of sight, hearing, touch, smell, and taste. With men in general, however, these organs are so much perverted by unnatural living from very infancy that little reliance can be placed on their judgments. To understand, therefore, what our natural needs are, we ought to depend upon observation, experiment, and reason. What is natural food for man? First, to select our natural food, our observation should be directed to the information of the organs that aid in digestion and nutrition, the teeth and digestive canal, to the natural tendency of the organs of sense which guide animals to their food, and to the nourishment of their young. Observation of teeth. So let's look at the teeth, shall we? You often hear, oh yes, but we've got incisors and carnivores and we're designed to eat meat, aren't we? Well, by observation of the teeth, we find that in carnivorous animals, the incisors are little developed. But the canines are of striking length, smooth and pointed to seize the prey. The molars are also pointed. These points, however, do not meet, but fit closely side by side to separate the muscular fibers. In the herbivorous animals, the incisors are strikingly developed. The canines are stunted, though occasionally developed into weapons as in elephants. The molars are broad-topped and furnished with enamel on the sides only. In the frugivorous, all the teeth are of nearly the same height. The canines are little projected, conical and blunt, obviously not intended for seizing prey, but for exertion of strength. The molars are broad-topped and furnished at the top with enamel, folds, to prevent waste caused by their side motion, but not pointed for chewing flesh. In omnivorous animals, such as bears, on the other hand, the incisors resemble those of the herbivorous. The canines are like those of the carnivorous, and the molars are both pointed and broad-topped to serve a twofold purpose. Now, if we observe the formation of the teeth in man, we find that they do not resemble those of the carnivorous, neither do they resemble the teeth of herbivorous or the omnivorous. They do resemble exactly those of the frugivorous animals. The reasonable inference, therefore, is that man is frugivorous, or fruit-eating animal. And the asterisk there points down to the bottom. It says, fruit comprises any part of plant life useful to man. The fruitarian diet referred to by Swami Sri Yukteswar includes vegetables, nuts, and grains. I would add seeds to that. Now, let's move on to the observation of the digestive canal, shall we? By observation of the digestive canal, we find that the bowels of carnivorous animals are 3 to 5 times the length of their body, measuring from the mouth to the anus, and their stomach is almost spherical. The bowels of the herbivorous are 20 to 28 times the length of their body, and their stomach is more extended and of compound build. But the bowels of the frugivorous animals are 10 to 12 times the length of their body. Their stomach is somewhat broader than that of the carnivorous and has a continuation in the duodenum, serving the purpose of a second stomach. This is exactly the formation we find in human beings. Though anatomy says that the human bowels are 3 to 5 times the length of man's body, making a mistake by measuring the body from the crown to the soles instead of from the mouth to the anus. Thus, we can again draw the inference that man is, in all probability, a frugivorous animal. Observation of the organs of sense now. By observation of the natural tendency of the organs of sense, the guideposts for determining what is nutritious, by which all animals are directed to their food, we find that when the carnivorous animals find prey, they become so much delighted that his eyes begin to sparkle. He boldly seizes the prey and greedily laps the jetting blood. On the contrary, the herbivorous animal refuses even his natural food, leaving it untouched if it is sprinkled with a little blood. His senses of smell and sight lead him to select grasses and other herbs for his food, which he tastes with delight. Similarly, with the frugivorous animals, we find that their senses always direct them to the fruits of the trees and field. In men of all races, we find that their senses of smell, sound, and sight never lead them to slaughter animals. On the contrary, they cannot even bear the sight of such killings. Slaughterhouses are always recommended to be removed far from the towns. Men often passed strict ordinances forbidding the uncovered transportation of flesh meats. Can flesh then be considered the natural food of man when both his eyes and nose are so much against it, unless deceived by flavours of spices, salt, and sugar? On the other hand, how delightful do we find the fragrance of fruits, the very sight of which often makes the mouth water. It may also be noticed that various grains and roots possess an agreeable odour and taste, though faint, even when unprepared. Thus, again, we are led to infer from these observations that man was intended to be a frugivorous animal. And so he quotes the Bible in Genesis 1:29, and God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat." Meat. That shall be for you, your meat, not animals. So let's move on to the observation of nourishment of the young. And we won't, it's just a little bit more here. By observation of the nourishment of the young, we find that milk is undoubtedly the food of the newborn babe. Abundant milk is not supplied in the breasts of the mother if she does not take fruits, grains, and vegetables as her natural food. Cause of disease now, let's move on. Hence, from these observations, the only conclusion that can reasonably be drawn is that various grains, fruits, roots are for beverage, milk, and pure water openly exposed to air and sun are decidedly the best natural food for man. The Indians love their milk. Of course, as I said in a past show, none of the milk that we have in our dairy industry in the West is suitable for human consumption because it comes from hybrid cows. There are too many There are too many hybrid breeds of cattle out there, and their milk is putrid. Whereas the Indians have the original breeds, and their milk is suitable. It's like your mother's breast milk, they say. So let's make that distinction now. Now, here's the part that I really want people to just memorize and burn into their consciousness, if they are at all, you know, inclined to truth and absolute truth. If you're not inclined, block your ears now. Cause of disease. Sorry, let me continue that little bit there. It says, these, being congenial to the system when taken according to the power of the digestive organs, well chewed and mixed with saliva, are always easily assimilated. Now, here's the bit that I really wish for all people to concentrate and understand. Other foods are unnatural to man, and being uncongenial to the system, are necessarily foreign to it. When they enter the stomach, they are not properly assimilated. Mixed with the blood, they accumulate in the excretory and other organs not properly adapted to them. When they cannot find their way out, they subside in tissue crevices by the law of gravitation, and, being fermented, produce diseases, mental and physical, and ultimately lead to premature death. There you go. Children's development.
True.
Yep. Here's the last little bit. Children's development. Experiment also proves that the non-irritant diet natural to the vegetarian is almost without exception admirably suited to children's development, both physical and mental. Their minds, understanding, will, the principal faculties, temper, and general disposition are also properly developed. Natural living calms passions. Subheading. We find that when extraordinary means such as excessive fasting, scourging, and monastic confinement are resorted to for the purpose of suppressing the sexual passions, these means seldom produce the desired effect. Experiment shows, however, that man can easily overcome these passions, the arch enemy of morality, by natural living on a non-irritant diet above referred to. Thereby, men gain the calmness of mind, which every psychologist knows is the most favorable to mental activity and to clear understanding, as well as to a judicial way of thinking. There you go. That's from Sri Yukteswar in his book, The Holy Science. Thank you.
That's amazing.
And it's a shame that I have, you know, I've gone to like the Hare Krishna people and I've asked them about, you know, have you heard of Sri Yukteswar? And they don't even know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, man, that's a shame. It really is, because they have all these books laid out for people to buy, and I'm like, Sri Yukteswar in there, you know?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So we should do some recipes, should we?
Mm-hmm.
We'll do some recipes?
Yeah, let's finish off with recipes. That's probably the best way to go, because lots of folks will be struggling because of being so used to, by customs and habits, to go down to the shop and grab this and grab that, and are so conditioned to the Western dietary lifestyle that they don't know how to prepare vegan dishes or tasty snacks in the vegan way. So let's perhaps you know, have one or two to finish off the shows with, and encourage people to switch over.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got two. The first one is you can easily do this if you go to any shop. Any shop has lentils, any shop has chopped tomatoes, any shop has a stock cube, and any shop has any vegetable you want to put in it. So all you basically do is you boil up lentils, so 100 grams of lentils with water. You add your chopped tomatoes and all your spices and your herbs and whatever flavors you like. Simmer it for like an hour and cook some sweet potatoes, and you have a meal. If you go to my, if you go on my YouTube channel, There's 2 widgets for Instagram, and there's one for vegan recipes, which I have on an Instagram, and you can find some of my recipes there. But for that recipe, it's really easy. There's not really much else to say about it because it's that easy. I don't really like making meals that are complex. I'm like, just shove it all in, make something tasty. I'm not into reading how much of this to put in and how much of that to put in, because really that recipe is really easy. And you simmer lentils and you add your vegetables, your onions, whatever, your courgettes, your sprouts, whatever you want. Keep it all in there, and it's really easy. And yeah, simmer it for like an hour, and it should go up like beans. But you'll see the recipe on my Instagram. The other one I have, which is so delicious, and I eat it all the time, is avocado. So I've got an avocado here, and you need a food processor or a smoothie machine, anything that will whisk this up. So you put one of these in, 1 or 2 of these, and you put a bit of rice milk in. You've got some agave syrup or maple syrup, and some, I've got some here somewhere. Cinnamon, and you whisk it up until it's like a paste, and you can put coconut oil in it as well, and it makes it go really, really, like, it's so luscious, and it's basically a dessert. I call it avocado dessert, and it's really, really delicious. It's amazing. But you can also find that on my Instagram, which you'll find on my channel. I've got a recipe for that in there. So yeah, those are my recipes. Yep.
And another thing that people need to keep in mind, because they are always, they're like, like we were talking about in the beginning of the show, that they're very addicted to cheese. You can make cheeses out of anything, and there are many substitutes for milk. I mean, the best milk in the world is cashew milk, walnut milk. I mean, you can make a milk out of any single nut, and cashew cheese is amazing. Avocados are so luscious. They can be honestly eating some avocado crackers that I literally eat way too much. I get this rye bread. It's technically a cracker, but it's in the bread section if you go to the supermarket, and the brand is called Wasa. And it's literally only rye flour and water. That's it. And that's why I get it, because I don't like to have a lot of ingredients in my stuff. And and I was eating it last night with my tomatoes and my sea salt on there, and I was realizing, I was like, man, this reminds me of cheese. There's just something cheesy about this. So there's different ways, and your taste buds will change. You have to remember that. Once you wean yourself off,
they do.
They change. Like I used to not like certain things. Not very many things. I like a lot of things, but olives were ones that I just could not eat. Now they're bearable.
Yeah, I know the feeling of that one. Yeah, but literally to cook vegan, it's just so easy. You just don't add the animal products. I had my partner around here the other day, and he was saying, "Oh, you can buy margarine and it's not animals. Why do people bother buying it and it's got animal products in? Like margarine with cow's butter. You can buy olive butter." It's just an example. Like you can create anything. You can create anything vegan just without the eggs. I mean, cakes are a little bit difficult if you're gluten free, because I'm gluten free as well. I don't eat gluten either. So I've got my meals pretty much down to a T, I think. But yeah, really easy.
Seriously, I mean, is just like butter to me. Like. It's so good. It has 0 cholesterol, no saturated fat, and it's delicious.
Yeah, definitely.
A recipe, Santos, that you talked about last week or the week before?
Yeah, I'm gonna have that next week. I've got chocolate brownies that I'm gonna. Oh, hang on, I've got it in email. Someone emailed it to me. It's okay. Here we go. Here's mine. Brownies are down the bottom. Okay. All right. I'm going to share mine in the tick, guys. Just yeah, these are the best we make them up here. I don't make them, but Judgy does up here on the farm here, and she's the best vegan cook on the planet. So when I go up there for dinner, I'm just, because my food doesn't taste anywhere near as good, so I'm very in my element. And we have a chocolate brownie for dessert, and it's like, wow.
Yes.
Why would you have dairy chocolate, and it's cooked, and it makes you, well, it just makes you look ugly. It makes you sick. You die. You're just going to die younger if you eat any of that crap. And it's raw, organic, and vegan chocolate, and it's a billion times better than any chocolate you'll ever taste that's cooked and it's dairy, ever. You just can't match it. It's impossible. And I'll give you this share this recipe with you, and if you try it, you will see for yourself. It's just intoxicating.
Yeah, vegan desserts are what turned me on to veganism, to be honest with you, because I was like,
yeah, that's the same as me.
This cookie tastes better than a regular cookie. Why would I eat the regular cookie when I can eat 10 of these cookies?
I know. And have you tasted like raw desserts? Like, like the cheesecakes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The raw cheesecakes with they're amazing, aren't they? They're just amazing. Like, I don't know why anybody would want to go for pus. I just don't get it. I just do not get why anyone would go for a pussy, fatty slice of cheesecake where they could have this beautiful plant-based cake. It's beyond me. Yeah.
Well, I would say it's due to ignorance, really, but
yeah.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse once you learn the truth about how harmful dairy is for you. Then you see them falling for those things and eating those things. Then you can just, it's astonishing how stupid people can be, the stuff that they put into their body. I mean, how many times do people say, oh, you are what you eat, and there you see them eating a pig's bum, right? Well, then you're a pig's bum. You're a pig's ass. Sorry, but you are what you eat. So if you have bacon and eggs, which someone like, say, Jan Irvin talks about on his shows in California, on his Gnostic media shows, he's talking about how delicious it is for crispy bacon, that fatty, crispy, cholesterol-full bacon. He loves it. He was a vegetarian for 7 years. Oh, it was the worst thing he ever did. I'm going back to murdering and ingesting blood so I can be as dumb as an animal. And oh, it tastes great. Pig's bum. Wow. So you are what you eat, Jan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry to name names, but in this case I have to, because these particular people are harmful to other people. They are harmful, and they need to be stopped in their tracks, knocked off their soapboxes, and they need to shut up. Shut up, because that is flatulence coming out of your mouth, guys. Just shut up.
Teaching people good things about their bad habits.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've got to find this now in my emails. And away we go. Recipes, here we go. Okay, so we've got the chocolate one on the bottom here. Here we go. I just need to make that bigger because, oh well, I can use my glasses. That's fine. So,
you write down.
Asparagus. No, stir fried. Not down the bottom.
Hang on.
Chopped chick.
And there's the cookies, there's the donuts.
I've got a lot of recipes here, guys.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
So that's the topping, and that's the base.
Okay, here we go. So the base is 4 cups of almonds. Would they be soaked?
Activated. Yeah.
Activated. Always activate your seeds and your nuts, guys. Activation is soaking them overnight, probably about 8, 12 hours. Depends. You can check that. You can easily Google how long it takes to activate almonds, but I think it's about 8 hours. Okay. So 4 cups of almonds, 1 cup of date paste, 1 cup of raw cacao powder, 1/4 cup of coconut oil liquid. And here's what you do. Grind almonds in high-speed blender or food processor until mealy. Like a meal, yep. Transfer to a large mixing bowl. Add cacao and date paste. Mix through with your hands a little before adding coconut oil. Press mix into a lined baking tin and slice. Set in the freezer. That's it? Hey, how easy was that?
Easy.
I thought it was hard.
It's really easy.
4 ingredients.
Yeah.
Almonds, date
That's
paste,
what I mean. It's
raw
really
cacao and coconut oil. Man, it's just so simple. And I tell you, I kid you not, guys, if you want to try it, it is the best, without any doubt, the greatest and the most delicious dessert I've ever tasted in my life. The best chocolate you will ever eat. That's it. 4 ingredients. So simple. There's nothing equal to it. I've never had anything equal to it. It's just so delicious.
Yeah, you don't need some complex, ingredient list. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, once you cleanse your body out, and that's what I want to talk about. Like, I want to talk about how important you do transition, you must cleanse your body out. It's so vital because everything will change. You're going to open up so many different, things in your brain and your body. Everything's going to just clean out. And I'll probably link something below in the video. It's called a colon board, which I just received. That has just changed my life. And also the liver flush. I'm on day 3. Andreas Moritz liver flush that Santos and Kimmy both have talked about. And those are vital. Those are absolutely vital because you have so much buildup plaque and stones in your body that you have to flush out. Like, no matter what diet you have, it's not going to get rid of those things. The cleansing process has to take place, It's vital.
And of course, we've got our good friend Hakan, who was very close connected to Andreas Moritz, who was most probably murdered for publishing videos and books on this liver cleanse. And of course, Hakan, we're hoping to. He's in our Skype group, our syncretism geocentrism flat Earth Skype group room.
Oh yeah.
And he's going to be joining us hopefully and help us and teach us and show us about the liver cleanse. So hopefully we'll have him on one day.
Yeah, definitely soon because he has so much information and he's just a beautiful soul. I love Hakan. He's one of my favorite people.
Yep. Wonderful. He's also sent us a couple of colon boards from overseas. That's how. That's how, the kind of person he is, that he would do such things to send us over those boards, and that's just very much appreciated because I've always, well, not always, but recently have believed in doing colon cleansing and enemas regularly to cleanse the toxins from the body and discharge them. So
coffee.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I actually just did one today again. I did one Saturday or Friday or something like that. Yeah, I think Saturday, and I did one again today, and I intend to do them like weekly or something like that because it's so important. It really is.
Yeah,
Yep.
Coffee enemas are good. Have you heard of the Gerson therapy?
Yes.
For cancer, they use juices and coffee enemas. But the liver flushes, oh my God! If you seriously, this is just for another video, another show. But I cannot say enough about liver flushes. I really, really can't. They are amazing. Like you feel so light afterwards, and you feel like your solar plexus has been cleared. You know, the area under where your solar plexus is. You feel so clear, like you're like, whoa, like I was actually storing loads of anger there, and like since getting rid of that, you feel really light and really, really good. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
I am so excited. I'm on day 3 of mine. I cannot freaking wait until day 6. I'm so excited.
They're really good. They're like my little projects. It's like self-loving, self-worship. You know.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wonderful.
Great
Yeah.
sharing. Mhm.
Well, thanks for joining, girls, and thanks for your input and for your lovely information, and really appreciate that. So next week I will probably shift today's show forward one day because I'm having visitors for a week, so it's going to interrupt my radio schedules, and so this is Wednesday for me. I will shift 2 of my shows, the astrology chart reading show, to my Monday, and the vegan demon slaying show to the Tuesday, if you don't mind. Does that suit you?
No, that's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Mhm.
Great. As for the
Perfect.
week after, I'll have to make arrangements for that because that's going to be interrupted too. So I'm going to have a busy week next week, but I will be able to sneak in this show a day earlier. So thanks for that, for accommodating me there, and thank you for being beautiful goddesses and being vegans and promoting veganism to the world and truth. Please continue. Do not relent.
You too. You too,
Yep.
Santos.
I never will, sister. I never will.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'd like to finish with go vegan, omnia vincit veritas. Truth will conquer all.
It will. 120%. See
Thank you,
May the
guys.
source be with you. May the source be with you.
you too.
You too.
Next week.